परिवार
NIOS welcomes you in this educational video for subject Political Science. Code number 317. This is for senior secondary level. We are doing lesson number 13. You can see the name of the lesson. It is Executive in the States. This video is part 1. Let us first begin with the difficult terms from this lesson. After understanding all these difficult words, we will begin the lesson. Here you can see two words, Attorney General, and the other word is Advocate General. So first have a look at the word Advocate General. Advocate General is the chief legal advisor of the state government and is its chief advocate in the courts. On the other side, Attorney General is the chief legal advisor of the government of India and is its chief advocate in the courts. So both are different terms. I hope you all understood it well. Now here again you can see the two words which are related to the parliament. These two words are, first word is Legislative Council and the other word is Legislative Assembly. Legislative Assembly is the Vidhan Sabha, which is the lower house of the state legislature, and on the other side, Legislative Council is known as Vidhan Parishad, which is the upper house of the state legislature. Now here the new word is Office of Profit. It is a position that brings to the person holding it some financial gain or advantage or any other benefit. This word is pleasure of the president. It means president of the president or governor to remove officer at any point of time without any formal procedure. So it is a kind of power of the president. Here the word is privileges. It means the emoluments and allowances. Now here you can see the three words. First word is summon. It means to call all the members of the parliament or state legislation for a meeting. The next word is prorogue. Prorogue means to discontinue a session of the parliament or state legislature without dissolving it. And the third word is dissolve. It means the formal term for the end of the parliament or state legislative assembly. As after a certain period of time, the assembly gets dissolved and thereafter a new term gets started. This word is Anglo-Indian. It means a citizen of mixed Indian and through the paternal line European ancestry. This word is ordinance. Ordinance is an order or rule made by a president or a governor with equal enforcement as legislation. Money bill. Money bill is concerned with financial matters like taxation, public expenditure, etc. Only be introduced in lower house. Budget. Budget is a statement by a government saying how much money it plans to spend on particular things in the next year and how it plans to collect money. Contingency fund. It is a reserve of money set aside to cover possible unforeseen future expenses. Now here on screen you can see two words. On the top the word is reprieve. It means the stay of the execution of a sentence, and this sentence is especially the death sentence, but for a particular and temporary period. And the other word is respite. Respite means awarding a lesser sentence in place of one originally awarded due to some special facts like illness, pregnancy, or any other related fact. Now here again you can see two words. First word is remission. Remission means reducing the period of sentence without changing its character. So the time period would be reduced in the remission. And the next word is commute. Commute means the substitution of one form of punishment for a lighter form. Generally, death sentence may be commuted to the life imprisonment. So these are basically the 4 types of powers of the governor. Discretion. Discretion means the individual choice or the judgment. The word is proclamation of emergency. It is a period of governance under an altered constitutional setup that can be proclaimed by the President of India when they perceives grave threats to the nation from internal or external sources or from financial situations of crisis. Now this word is defections. It means voluntarily giving up the membership of a political party or disobeying the party leadership on a vote in the legislature. This word is commission. An official group of people who are asked to find out about something. This word is ceases. It means to come to an end. Portfolios. Minister's area of responsibility as a member of cabinet. Confidence of majority. It means able to command a majority in the House on key matters. This word is cabinet. It is a body of advisors to a head of state who also serve as the heads of government departments. This word is constitutional machinery. It is the body of the elected government which must conduct its governance according to the provisions of its constitution. This word is subservient. It means to consider to be less important than something else. Letter and spirit. It means anything which was written and what was meant to be written both has the same meaning. So we call it letter and spirit. Break.
प्रकाशित करने राहों को आलोकित करने,
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने राहों को आलोकित करने, हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने, हम
अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने राहों को आलोकित करने।
धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो,
धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो,
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
मित्रों हम उठे और जागे,
मंजिल आने की ध्वनि सुने, हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने राहों को आलोकित करने।
राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालय का है द्वार खुला सबकी खातिर।
शिक्षा परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर
शिक्षा परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर दुनिया में इसके केंद्र बात
कोई मन चाहा केंद्र चुने, हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। कोई मन चाहा केंद्र चुने,
So let us continue after the break. Before the break, we discussed the difficult words from this lesson, and now onward, we are beginning the lesson. Here you can see this screen, India map. It is a political map, and in this you can easily understand that we have federal system and we have 28 states and 8 union territories. So here now let us understand the union territories and state governments. So what is the important characteristics of both? Both are the executive body, and the union government is under the control of, or you can say the nominal head is the president. And on the other side, state government is headed by the governor. So governor is the nominal head in the state, and in union, president is the nominal head. And again, if we talk about the union government, then there is vice president who is just next to the president level. One level below the president is vice president. And in India, we all know that Prime Minister is the real head of the union government. And on the states, Chief Minister is the real head of the states. If we talk about the Council of Ministers, then we can say that in union government and in state government, both has a council of ministers. They work as the advisor and they work in a team. And below that you can see the Attorney General of India. It comes under the union government. And similarly on the states, you can see the Advocate General of States. And this, you can see on the state side, this is the permanent executive who is a civil servant. So civil servants who all are in our state government, they are the permanent executive members of the state government. Let us now understand the Council of Ministers. We already understood that Council of Ministers, this team is there at the union level and at the state level. So if we talk about the union level, then Council of Ministers are responsible to the lower house of Parliament, to the Lok Sabha. And at the state level, the Council of Ministers is responsible to the lower house of the state legislature, and they are responsible to the Vidhan Sabha. So let us now understand the objectives of this lesson. The first objective is we will be able to understand the appointment of the governor. And the next objective of this lesson is we will be able to understand the qualifications, tenure and privileges of the governor. and all the related points we will discuss. The next objective of this lesson is we will be able to understand the powers of the governor, including his discretionary power. And the fourth objective is we will be able to understand the roles and positions of the governor. The fifth objective of this lesson is we will be able to understand the election procedure or the appointment procedure of the Chief Minister. Sixth point as objective of this lesson is we will be able to understand the appointment of the Council of Ministers and how it is formed. The seventh objective of this lesson is we will be able to understand the powers and functions of the Chief Minister and the Council of Ministers. The eighth objective of this lesson is we will be able to understand the relation between the governor and the Council of Ministers at the state level. So let us now begin this topic of the governor's appointment. The governor is appointed by the President of India. The governor is not elected, but it is appointed by the President of India. And the governor can be one person, and that one person may be appointed as a governor for even one state, two states, or more states. So it is a possibility that one person can be the governor of two states or more states. And also no bar on appointment or reappointment either in the same state or in the different states. So there is no bar. Let us now understand the qualifications of the governor. The first important qualification which is required to be a governor is the person should be a citizen of India. The next important qualification is that person should be at least 35 years of age. And third point is that person cannot hold any office of profit during his tenure. Let us now understand the tenure of the governor. The term of governor is for 5 years, but normally holds office during the pleasure of the president. The president goes by the advice of the prime minister. Let us now understand the privileges of the governor. The Raj Bhavan, which is the rent-free residence that is given to the governor, and along with that emoluments and allowances of the governor, cannot be reduced during all the tenure period of the governor. We know that governor is the head of the state and he is the representative of the union government. So with this picture, you can easily understand that. Let us now further understand this. Now let us talk about the powers of the governor. The governor has many powers because that governor has to coordinate among the state and the union government. So certain powers are given to the governor. So let us now understand the powers of the governor. You can see 4 points in the yellow box, and the first point explains about the executive powers, then number 2 talks about the legislative power, 3 is financial power, and 4th is the power of pardon. So these are basically the 4 powers, and below that you can see the discretionary power of the governor as a representative of the union government. Let us take a break here.
प्रकाशित करने राहों को आलोकित करने,
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने राहों को आलोकित करने, हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने, हम
अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने राहों को आलोकित करने।
धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो,
धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो,
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
मित्रों हम उठे और जागे,
मंजिल आने की ध्वनि सुने, हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने राहों को आलोकित करने।
राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालय का है द्वार खुला सबकी खातिर।
शिक्षा परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर।
शिक्षा परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर दुनिया में इसके केंद्र बहुत
Let us now continue after the break with the executive powers. We understood about the union and the governor, union government and the state government. We also understood about the appointment procedure. Now let us understand the executive powers of the governor. Executive power is, he not only appoints the CM but on his or her advice appoints the members of the Council of Ministers also. And he appoints the Advocate General and the Chairman and members of the State Public Service Commission. And similarly appoints judges of the court other than the High Court, however consulted when the judges of the State High Court are appointed by the President of India. And also the executive powers are aided and advised by the Council of Ministers headed by the Chief Minister. So we understood the first point. Now let us understand the legislative powers. The governor has the power to summon and prorogue the state legislature, dissolve the state assembly, state legislative assembly on the recommendation of the Council of Ministers headed by the CM. So the governor can summon, the prorogue and dissolve. As we already discussed these three powers in the difficult terms. So these are some of the important legislative powers of the governor. But upon consultation with the CM, these powers can be executed. Also, governor can address the session of the state legislative assembly or joint session of the two houses of the legislature and also send message to either or both the houses. The legislative powers of the governor also include to nominate one member of the Anglo-Indian community to the state legislative assembly. And also governor can nominate 1/6 members of the total strength of the legislative council. Also, the governor can issue ordinances during the period when the state legislature is not in session. ordinances ceases to operate after 6 weeks unless earlier rejected by the legislature. And also the governor can assent of the governor is necessary for the bill to become a law. So in this regard, governor has some of the power which we will discuss as few of the options in our further slides. Because governor's agreement is necessary, so in this regard governor has to give assent to the bill so that the bill can become a law. So that assent is important. Also, if the governor withholds the assent, so in that case, the bill fails to become a law. And also, in case of return of the bill with the governor's message, if the state legislature passes the bill in its original shape or in a modified form, the governor has to give the assent to the bill. And this next point explains that the governor can reserve the bill for the consideration of the president. Let us now understand this third power, which is financial power. No money bill can be introduced in the state legislative assembly without the prior permission of the governor. The annual and the supplementary budgets are introduced in the assembly in the name of the governor. and the control over the state contingency fund. This is another financial power of the governor. So the governor has full control over the state's contingency fund. This fourth point is the power of pardon. The governor can reprieve, respites, or remission of punishment, or to suspend, remit, or commute the sentence of any person who is convicted by the courts of any offense against any law relating to a matter to which the executive power of the state extends. And this fifth power is the discretionary power. It means to act without the advice of the Council of Ministers and exercise in own discretion. So they are breakdown of the constitutional machinery in the state. In case the governor's report is accepted by the president and he proclaims the emergency under Article 356, the State Council of Ministers is removed and the State Legislative Assembly is either dissolved or put under suspension. So during such emergency, the governor rules on behalf of the president. And in the same discretionary power, the governor can reserve a bill for the consideration of the president, which is meant for extraordinary and emergency situation, and also for creating tension between union and the state legislation. So these are the discretionary power that the governor can reserve any bill which is creating tension between the two governments. So far we have understood the lesson. Thank you.
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने राहों को आलोकित करने
जीवन ये प्रकाशित कर